music lovers, wherever on the planet you may be. We're going to do Bewitched today in the key of C. It's a beautiful ballad. First chord is C. All right, that means C major, and since it's a nice jazz ballad, we'll put a sixth on that. So we're going to make all our C's into C sixths. C sharp diminished, and I'm going to make it C sharp diminished seventh. So here's a diminished chord. If you have a triad, you flat the third, you flat the fifth, and if you have a seventh, you can flat that twice. So it actually comes out as a sixth, but it's a double flatted seventh. All right? So that's a C diminished seventh. And the song calls for C sharp diminished seventh, so let's just move that up a half step. Okay? And notice also that we have the same distance between every note. It's a minor third. It's 3 minor seconds. So you have 1, 2, 3. All right, and then the next note, count 1, 2, 3. Next one, 1, 2, 3. There you go. C sharp diminished seventh. D minor seventh. And here's D sharp diminished seventh. Okay, we can look at our intervals again and count up 3 from each note. We got D sharp, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, D sharp diminished seventh. Now we have a slash chord next. It's C slash E. So which is the chord and which is the bass note? Okay, well, it's easy to get this backwards, so be careful. The C is the chord, it's on the left, and the bass note is on the right or under the slash, but the bass note, you know, is the lowest note on the piano, so it's kind of flipped backwards if you think about it. So C is the chord, E is the bass note, and we're going to use C sixth. So there we are in root position. If we want E on the bottom, we simply move the C to the top. We've got C sixth over E. And then we're going to go to the next chord, E dominant seventh, F major seventh, and here's F sharp diminished. Kind of get to it, it's very much the same shape as the C sharp diminished. 2 blacks and 2 whites, so we've got 2 blacks and 2 whites right there. F sharp diminished seventh. And now we've got C over G, or C slash G. So it's a C sixth, and the G is the bottom note. All right, did you get that? We have C sixth, we took the C and the E, moved them up here. And our next chord, I believe in the book it says D ninth, but we're going to interpret that as D seventh. If it says D ninth, it means a D seventh with a ninth, and you could ignore the ninth for now. We're just going to deal with up to seventh chords. All right, so D seventh. All right, D dominant seventh, right? So it's a major triad, flat 7, 2 down from the root, D seventh, G seventh. Make an inversion here. And the next chord is in parentheses, and what that means in this chart is only use it when you're going to go to the second ending. Don't use it the first time around, use it the second time around. So we'll play our G seventh, and we'll ignore the C seventh, go right back to D minor, or right to D minor seventh. And G seventh, that's in our first ending there. All right, and then we repeat the A section, or the first section again. And when you play this song, you have 2 chords in each measure, so we're going to put the chords on beat 1 and 3. So in the first measure, this is a little tricky, we're going 1 and 2, and there's the third beat, so that's when we want to play our chord. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4. Played my G7 twice because I've been playing 2 chords in every measure, so I wanted to do the same thing here. And I can't play the C7th because that's only the second time. So G7 twice. First ending, have to play the D7 twice and the G7 twice. And back to the top. this time, C dominant 7th. And here's a good time to talk about dominant 7th chords. We call them dominant because they lead so strongly to whatever key center comes next in the cycle of fifths. So we have C 7th, we're talking cycle of fifths, that means down a fifth from the bass note, so to an F. And that's what we would expect next after C 7th. And of course we get it because we're going to the second ending and it's F major 7th. E minor 7th and A dominant 7th. Now D minor, it just says D minor, it doesn't say do a triad or a 7th chord. So if we think maybe D minor 7th, 2 measures, that's 4 times on this chord. We could do some fancy stuff here and play around with the 5th of this chord if you like. Kind of reminiscent of James Bond there. Then when we get to A minor, we might handle that the same way. Just for fun. And then we're to D minor and G. D minor, G7. E minor 7th. Now we have A dominant 7th. It says sharp 9, but for these lessons we're ignoring anything above a 7. So A7. That's an inversion. We took A dominant 7th, major chord, flat 7, and we had the inversion of it. So from E minor 7th, A 7th, D minor 7th, and G. Here's the bridge again, or the B section. You might have noticed a lot of dissonance on that A7 when we had, in the melody note, you'd think maybe it's a misprint, should be A sharp. It is C. So that's a lot of dissonance there, and there's better ways to handle this kind of thing. I'll just show you one of them. Back to the A section, very similar to the first one. There on the end I used a surprise ending. The last 3 chords of the song, not counting the 2 in parentheses there, but the D minor 7th, and then it says C 6th, and the melody note is C. Well, I just picked another chord that had a C in it. I picked F minor, maybe F minor 6th, and then I went to the C 6th.